Hey guys, it's Alex. I wanted to bring you a video from the studio, aka the other bedroom. And I received a message on my YOLO douchebag page on Facebook from a guy named Derek. He apparently is a fan of the dating channel, and he wanted to write me something that happened with him and his ex and how he's doing now, and that he wanted to give props to the channel because it helped out. So, guy's name's Derek, and this is what he's got going on. He said, "Not sure if you're ever going to read this, but I wanted to say thank you. I've listened to every That Dating channel, and you've given me the strength and courage to walk away from a crappy 6-year marriage, and I'm happier than ever. I met my wife, 26, she was 32. I had one kid who was 6, and she had 3 kids with no support from their father." He says, "Yes, I knew what I was getting into, but I also had love blinders on." You know what love blinders on, guys? There are very obvious signs that, red flags that you ignore because either the chick is so hot, because you fall for something, and you let your emotions get a hold of you. And your judgment is your judgment is skewed. Someone once said that being in love has the same brain waves as someone who's psychotic or something like that, or someone that has like mental issues. Look, it's not that far apart because you totally overlook things that you normally wouldn't if you weren't in love. Now, the next sentence I don't really understand here. He says, "My mom, I work hard for, was divided." I think he meant I work hard and everything was divided between them, meaning once the divorce happened, I think all the assets had to get split down the middle when she brought no equity into the relationship. And you guys know what that means. She comes in with 3 kids to your house, you get married, and she leaves with half. That's amazing that that happens in this day and age. He said, everything was divided down the middle and it sucked. I did everything, including selling my 1,000 horsepower Mach 1, built by built to buy us a house." Wow. So he actually, I'm sorry, I think he the whole love blinders thing made him do crazy shit like sell his Mach 1 so they could buy a home. "Well, now the house is selling and I'll walk away with 80,000 in equity. And I'm buying my own house for my son and I." Good for you. Good for you. Look out for your kid. "I met a badass chick that I'm excited about and who doesn't need me, and I don't need her. But we make each other happy. She makes damn good money. She's 30, has no kids." Uh-oh. You know what I think about that? "Weird, LOL," he says. He goes, "Thanks for all you do." So I said, "She's gonna want a kid. So be ready for that shit show. No blinders on this time." He says, "I knew you'd say that. She doesn't want kids at this time." Keyword, at this time. Once you guys get comfortable, once you get in your house, once she moves in, because if she doesn't need you, she doesn't need to move in, right? Nah, she'll move in. All of a sudden, y'all will get bored, and she's gonna say one day, Do you think we should have a kid of our own?" Because she's at that age. She's at that age. It's just gonna happen. Trust me. Unless she's that unicorn that just does not want kids or desires kids, but I'm willing to put money on the fact that she's gonna want kids. He says, "I need to say that she doesn't want kids at this time." I said, let's hope it stays that way. But it's biological with them. Them. But I said, not everywhere but in her. Sounds crass, but don't trust her for shit. Love ya, but gotta keep things in check. I said, "Either way, congratulations on getting away from that previous situation." He said, "Yes, sir, my guard is up and I'll be wrapping my shit. Thank you, sir. New me." Good for him. I love hearing success stories where guys are in a tumultuous relationship where they're just kind of going along, going, it's better not to fight. It's better to just ignore it. There is no reason to rock the boat. I'm unhappy. Things suck. But it's better than being single. Actually, it's not. A lot of people think that being single means you feel alone, you feel lonely. Not if you have hobbies, if you're kind of with it, you get out there and meet people. It's a good life. It really is. If you're fulfilled and you have hobbies and you have plenty of things to do to keep you busy, it's probably the best way to live. You do whatever you want to do when you want to do it, however you want to do it. You want to get on a plane and take off and meet some chick in Texas, Massachusetts, Seattle, you can do it. It doesn't matter. It's up to you because you can do whatever the heck you want. But someone like me does seek someone, but they have to fit my type, and I'm not going to really be too adjustable on that. So I think it's better to be single than to be in a miserable situation. And Derek just needed, I guess, some words of encouragement. A lot of you out there in a similar situation where you're just insanely unhappy and you just need some words of encouragement so that you can at least have the courage to say, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to do me. And a lot of guys feel like they're letting someone down if they walk away from the situation. I was in situations where I felt responsible for somebody. And then I finally, got it through my head and said, wait a minute. I didn't know this person 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I can go back to not knowing that person pretty easily. That's the difficult part, by confronting them and saying, hey, I'm not happy and I'd like to get out of this situation. They're not going to say, no, you have to stay with me, especially if there's no kids or anything involved. Even if there's kids involved, you don't have to sit, you don't have to stay. We've seen that. So if you're out there in a situation where you're miserable, regardless whether there's a kid or not involved, because a lot of people stay together for the kids. And I think that's more hurtful to the children than if you were to live separate lives, be happy in your separate lives. Now, some people are super immature, and once the kid gets handed off to dad and vice versa, that's when dad can talk shit about mom, mom can talk shit about dad, and the kid is like, you're both fucked up. But kids can pick up on tumultuous relationships. Do you think, you look at this kid, he's 3 or 4, you're like, nah, he don't know nothing. If you're walking around on eggshells all the time, you hate him, he hates you, she hates you, you hate her, the kid can pick up on that. The children, just imagine when you were a kid, what's the earliest memory that you had? Mine was I was 2 years old. I elbowed my brother from the top of the couch. I missed, landed on my elbow, broke my elbow. Thing was dangling. I was 2 years old. I remember that day. I was like clear as day. And I remember things that happened around that time. So if you're a child and both of your parents hate each other and they're arguing and they're just not getting along, but they're together for you, it can really screw the kid up. Luckily, my parents got along pretty damn good. So I'd like to think I came out okay. But anyway, people like Derek, if you're in a similar situation like Derek, guys, really take a good inventory of your life and what's going on and what's important to you. Is your long-term happiness important? Do you see yourself in a long-term relationship being happy with this woman? Or do you just say, it's cheaper to keep her and I'm just going to ride that wave until either she fucks up or the relationship just ends on its own? Let's talk about it in the comments. Cheaper to keep her or confront the person and say, I want to be happy. I'm going to do me. And like Derek, do the hard work, get divorced, sell the house, and end up in a better situation later on than to stay in a bad situation for a long time for the sake of the child or the children. Let's talk about it in the comments. Talk to you guys later.